cost you as much as a house does. But when they put the house on it, it ain't the cost of the lot is included.
Okay. What is that called? It's just included?
Yeah, it's just that's why when you driving down Dixie and you see 33 acres for sale.
Right.
You just paying for the land.
Right. But now, I have to go ahead.
If you buy that land and you build a house on it, not only at that point, unless you buy it all together, you have to pay taxes on the land and the house.
Okay.
See what I'm saying? But when you buy it all together, like down there with Mr. Fred, you buy a house from Mr. Fred, you're not only buying the house, you're buying the land that it's on.
Okay. You see how it looks though, being that I never bought one. You see what I'm saying?
But I'll tell you the biggest conspiracy and joke to me.
How'd you have to say that? Why you saying to me?
To me, this is something nobody even asking a question about. First of all, I want to know who gave the land to the government to be able to even sell it to me.
Right.
Okay?
And I was looking at land grants.
Okay.
I was looking at Kentucky. I was looking at Kentucky in one of the first land grants, like from West Point or something, like really looking at it. And so he had the first, and I'm like, why, like you, like, I said the same thing. That's what made me look at it that way, the way I looked at it.
Little house on the prairie, they used to get off the trailer and say, okay, we'll build a house here. You know what I'm saying? So, and then it becomes their land. So, but anyway, that's not what behooved me. What behooved me is, okay? You like that?
Cause you goofy. I'll be missing you. Because I'll be like, you funny, but I ain't really got the laid back lesson. It's, Go ahead.
What behooved me is the fact that when I buy a house or a car or a motorcycle and I pay what you tell me it costs, why am I paying taxes again every year?
Right.
And how come, and what's the difference between me buying a bag of potato chips?
The sales tax or alcohol.
And pay the same sales tax. It's just not as valuable as my house.
Right.
Once I buy them potato chips, the potato chips are mine. You don't charge me every year on them potato chips.
But
how you gonna charge me and make me pay taxes again?
You know what I learned?
Vehicle that I just bought and paid the taxes you said I had to pay.
When I went to
what you said I had to
Daddy,
pay.
you get upset.
I am. Why do I have to keep paying for something I didn't pay for?
I can't even get a word in. You getting upset. Look, I went to when you going in over there, ain't you?
Now, somebody got to explain that to me. First, they got to explain who gave you the land to be able to charge me for it.
And that's exactly why, I wanted to work on our book stand because I ain't seen your library, but I did want to just work on bringing, to look at it. Yeah. That's why I mentioned the estate planning book and the administrative government book because there was a couple good things in there, like that what we talking about. So I had went to the library and got a couple books or whatever, and there was this guy. He used to be a prosecuting attorney, and so I brought up Easy Elastical Court. So all the property and deeds is at the government building, titles and everything that you're talking about, sales tax. So when I brought up the Easy Elastical Court, like canon law and stuff like that, he was he was kind of thrown off because I was bringing up Lincoln, but he was kind of thrown off because I'm just a rookie, but he was kind of thrown off and he brought up the Catholic Church. And he was like, schools, this, that, and this. And I was like, I know we not rerouting all this state tax where you paying the cards and stuff every day and it's going to, because you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I was like, from a spiritual sense, how you have to see it in a physical, I'm gonna tell you, it's a good question. You know what I'm saying? And you be like, well, why? And then like territories and stuff like that. And like why we never owned the land or why we still pay taxes. But he said, like the Easy Elastical Court, when I mentioned it like that, like the government building is a fascicle court. budget
Right.
court. They don't have it as a lease, but it is. It is.
Right.
And so, but it's also because I got this government and accounting and control book, and then the one book Grandpa looked at where it's talking about Morse code.
Right.
It's a executive budget. The Justice Center is the legislation budget, and then now it goes into government. But then when you think about Babylon, all the government buildings and all those things, it's like, oh, they over here. You don't think about how they route it. You know what I'm saying? But I was like, hold on. Why do we pay taxes? Same thing you saying. Same thing you saying. Same thing. And like, it's just like when you look at it and how it's broke down, like then the government building or the ecclesiastical court, then that's when it comes into the early Christian empire and stuff like that, and divine revelation, and then looking at early Roman Empire, and then in front of a magistrate, like that's where all the marriage, you see what I'm saying? All property, and then I was like, because I studied state and church law, and then try to go to Grandpa's house with the biblical, and then this is what started it when I talked to Grandma. Me and Grandma had a good conversation, and talking about Jacob and the 12 tribes, and they all inherited land. And so I was like, I said the same thing you said, but I said it like this. What is real estate? Because when it comes to the land, last I checked, God was the landlord. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You see what I mean? Like, same thing you saying, but when I just first started thinking about the real estate before I went all the way around that loop,
All right.
I had to call Grandma and Grandpa. I was like, hold on. And Mom was like, that's an excellent question. And Grandma went into like the 12 tribes, but just understanding it biblically, I was like, that's why I was like, well, I was going to go over there today. And that's why I was like, if you want to come, because even Mom was like, that's an excellent. She was like, man, you know what? You got me going to get up there and hear Grandpa talk about this. I was over there laughing, but so she was like, yeah. And then she was telling me about your church or whatever, and then like the age group. And I was telling her how you want me in the get with the choir and stuff. But like the Wednesdays or whatever, I still wanted to like come, check that out. I don't know if I'll make it out, but just because you did mention it, I didn't tell you I won't forget, just like the technique and stuff. And just like talking to Grandma, and then like, where everybody's at and stuff. And I was talking about you, and I was like, my daddy don't know. I was like, he don't know. Like, I was just like that little girl. I was like, my daddy's a star. Oh, he got all them God-given talents. Like, he's a star. But then when I look back at it in like my little walk, I'm like, daddy got hit. Daddy got attacked. Like, spiritually. And it's like I just see that now. Like, I see stuff, like, I was like, you got hit, like hit to me, looking back, like at it, like struggling, like, I can't even describe it, but I was telling Grandma, I was just like, and here come Grandpa coming out here just to be that, like you are to me sometimes, we not talk, but just be that body that, and I was like, here come Grandma, like you, all that stuff was instilled, and you like went to therapy, you tried, you took us to church, you know what I'm saying? But it was like, in my mind, you just got hit. Huh? Because it's like, man is commanded by God to live by the sweat of his own brow, not somebody else's. You should have had a business. You were just too talented. Like, Grandma's like, you just a star to me. I'm like, to the woodscraft, blacksmith, wood crane, like, just talented DJ. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm like, daddy is too. I was like, oh, he got hit. And when you look at it, and when somebody's that gifted, and like that whole, they know who you are, but do you? But having to fight through it, just like the things I go through, and it's like, they know who you are, but do you? And it's just like, daddy got hit. And I was like, stop, daddy, stop. And then I just look at you now. And all the like extreme effort that you make. And just like I told Grandma, I was like, Dad can't answer the phone. I had to call, I was like, no, he don't do that these days. No, he don't do it. Like, I was like, I got to comment you because you got in an accident, I was like, he don't really do that. Like, I mean, he may miss a call or so, but he'll call you right back. Like you did this morning. I was thinking like this morning, I was like, he don't, it used to be a time, and that's why like you don't understand the effort, because it used to be a time like, I would sit there and be like, he's not going to show up. He's not going to show me. He'll make me cry. But I'm like, the like effort I see is just the time, like, stunt, daddy, stunt. Stunt. I'm like, you look good. You look good. But then just like, I guess when you get attacked like that or see like me getting to sit here and see my natural talents that I'm just too busy doing other things and not, seeing, and it's just like, then, the medical stuff, and then, all those things, all those things, it's just like, okay, ooh, and then, like, I mean, that's not the individual salvation's everything. I can't tell you. It is. But I was seeing what you do today. That's why I was.
Well, I was actually trying to get down to Mississippi to see my folks.
Yeah, Grandma was telling me that.
Yeah, I was going to see if a little man couldn't go. It's important for me to make sure you guys know your people. So,
Right. No, I said the same thing to Grandma. I was like, you know what? I ain't been down there since we went down there, and I seen the 7 foot.
2002.
Yeah, I was like the 7 foot tennis players. That's all I remember.
But anyway, I was going to call you and see if you wanted to ride with me.
When you going?
Well, I was leaving yesterday, but you see how that turned out.
Right.
Anyway,
I did want Grandma to come too, because she told me she wanted to go. I was like,
she's not going to be able to make it. Dad, she really wants to go, but I want to go see my grandkids and my uncle and my aunts, and it'd be great if you could go, see some of them folks again.
yeah. Well, I got court again on the 28th, so I ain't gonna be able to go anyway. That's why I keep saying I'm still waiting on this 90-day and $250 fine that they playing with me about. But so I mean, I think I'm tired of calling me, but I'm telling you, I was like, I wanted you to be there because I want to hear your perspective about like like we talking now. If you had time when I went over there to see, and just to see you before you left, or just to see you because I ain't seen you, and then see if you I still need to pick up some books from the library, but I really did want to talk to you about like, so like when I get back and getting in the Grandma like, you forgot about it? I'm like, no, I got a bag of supplies. No, I got to get to work and stuff by the first of the year, help Mom with the rent and stuff, but and situate everything, but and she been sick, so
What's wrong with her?
it was just the heat and stuff went out at work, so it kind of got her, she stayed cold, you know what I'm saying? She stayed cold, so, and then the weather dropped.
Is she still paying for that car and storage?
Yeah, I don't know if we're gonna stay here or not.
Oh, y'all plan on?
Yeah, it's only a 6-month lease. It's only a 6-month lease.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so.
Well, the reason all of that, she needs to let the car go. It's going to cost way too much to fix that car. And the longer it sits, some of the plastic on the motor is deteriorating. It's not saying the motor is bad, it's just some of the.
Look, listen, you ain't gonna tell me. I already tried to get it sold when it was still high. That's what me and Crystal getting to her about now. This is what we need to get rid of, and medical records and all that stuff. Like, we just get it, like, downside stuff, and yeah. Yeah, and it don't need to stay in there. So yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, we getting like, cause Crystal like Mom getting older, knees and arthritis. Crystal's like, well, what's going on? Like, we gonna start hitting medical appointments and stuff with her. You know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't even know you had that many. Like, you gotta start talking a little bit. I don't know what's going on with you. I didn't know you had diabetes. I didn't know you had arthritis. I didn't know none of that. I need medical list on you, so I don't have no surprises. Yeah, that's what Mom keeps saying too. Really? Because of the mobility, more mobile? Mm-hmm. On the joint, right? Okay. Certain movements of the, yeah. Oh, okay. You still got back problems like that? Is that oh, okay.
Stretch me out for 15 minutes, and I tell you, man,